was replayed in a closed
on
session.
The 6th floor
The atmosphere
of the
was
Manhattan
nearly
Federal
palpable.
Courthouse on
Absolute
June
silence
27,
broken only by the
2025
independent
at
journalists and
05:24
investigative
p.m.
YouTube
plus
tagging metal
07,
and a short
an
mocking laugh.
unprecedented verdict
On the
shook
table in the
entertainment
background lay a
world.
black folder marked
Justin Bieber,
confidential
the global
agreement.
pop
Beside
icon, stood
leaked
silently
internal
as
emails
Judge
revealed
Lydia
that
Whitman
poised to
delivered a life
redefine how the
sentence
entertainment
without
industry
parole.
confronts power,
The decision
sex,
came mere
and
minutes
justice.
after the release of a 43-minute
Outside the courthouse
audio
gate from 5
Sean
a.m.,
Diddy
hundreds of
Combs,
reporters
extracted
activated the
days
alignment
before
of
his
Diddy's
mysterious
testimony,
death on
the
June
video
12,
content, the victim
2025.
identities,
In
and the physical
recording,
location
Diddy
led
named Bieber
prosecutors
as
to
a central
upgrade the charges
figure in
from
a
criminal
network of
to
manipulation and
This
abuse,
trial may one day
shattering the
close
pop
with a
star's
verdict, but
carefully
the truth
crafted
it has
image.
unearthed
The
cannot be
testimony
sealed
played
with
in
the
a
sound of
closed
a gavel.
session with only
Every
9
piece of
U.S.
evidence,
Marshals
every
and
sense
3
of dread.
attorneys present,
A room
included Diddy's
lit in
chilling
pale
admission.
blue, a fixed
I was
camera,
forced
the
to
operator
drink,
never
stripped,
shown.
and thrown into
Inside
parties
were 4
full of drugs
prosecutors
and
as
sex
Justin
when I was
uttered
underage.
just 2 words.
He filmed everything,
Lock
every
safe.
sick night.
Though
I
not
wasn't
yet
just
forensically
abused,
verified,
I was
the 8-second
stored on
video
his hard
appeared on
drive like a
Reddit.
trophy.
It showed a masked
These
man
words
leaving
directed
Christopher
at Bieber
H's office,
stunned the court.
carrying a
The
red
prosecution
online.
argued that
Hashtags,
encrypted video files
#justice
unlocked by
for
the
Clara,
FBI during the trial
boycott.
corroborated
Bieber
Diddy's claims,
and
leaving
life
no
sentence.
room for
Bieber
defense.
trended across the
Bieber
U.S.,
lowered
Canada,
his head,
Mexico,
offering
him
no
standing in front of a
objection as
camera,
the sentence
clearly
was
reciting
read.
the exact
The
phrase that
abruptness of the
activated.
ruling,
Diddy
delivered
was brought in
12
without
minutes
handcuffs,
after the
without a
audio's
lawyer.
release,
The triple-locked
stunned
door
onlookers.
sealed shut.
Diddy's
From Ms.
death
J.
ruled
Alvarez for
suspicious,
cross-examination,
with no
citing
external
discrepancies
trauma, but a
between
newly
J's
etched
testimony
P2
and Justin's
tattoo on
actual
his
European
wrist
tour that
added a
evening.
layer of
A
intrigue.
leaked source said
The
one
public
board
gallery
member
restricted
suggested
to
freezing
select
all
media
Justin-related
buzzed with
projects
whispers
until
as
the core
verdict
chapters of
sank
this
in.
unprecedented
News outlets
investigation.
like CNN
The
and
truth
Reuters
is
reported
only
live,
beginning to surface.
their cameras
We won't
capturing
need
the
a retake
courtroom's
this
tension.
time.
A legal
That
analyst
line
from a
was
major
immediately
network
isolated,
commented,
voice
Bieber's
analyzed, and
silence in
confirmed to be
court speaks
Justin's no
volumes.
dubbing.
Diddy's
This is no
testimony
longer an
changes
individual case.
everything. The
This is a
trial
network
already
built on
charged
fame
with
data
tension
and
over
abuse.
Diddy's trafficking and
One of the
extortion
advisors
charges
stated bluntly in the
pivoted
meeting
to
was
Bieber's
Clara
alleged role.
Montrose,
The
a young British
prosecution
singer
presented
who had
evidence of a
collaborated
dual
with Justin on a
encrypted
musical
server system,
charity project
one
in
controlled by
2020.
Diddy and the other
No
by
longer
Bieber,
under witness
used to
protesting
store
tour
compromising
archives with new
footage.
testimonies,
This
hoping
system,
to either
disguised
confirm
as the
or
fan
disproven
platform
J.
Intune
Alvarez's
Live,
and Walter
was
Mendel's
exposed as a
merely
tool
to
for
format that
coercion
drive
and
without
silence.
asking any questions. The trial day
courtroom on
concluded
June
at 5:30 p.m.
2025
with a surprise
became a
move.
stage for a
Christopher
reckoning
3-minute
with
recording.
Bieber's
Diddy
transformation
explicitly
from idol
named
to
Justin
felon,
Bieber as
marking
the
a
central
seismic
link in the
shift
chain
in
of
the industry's
manipulation,
narrative.
grooming, and
As
secret
marshals
filming of
escorted
young
Bieber
victims
out,
at the
weight
string of
Diddy's
blacklisted
words
parties
lingered.
hidden.
The sentence,
Justin Bieber
devoid
lowered
of
his head
reduction
without a
or
single
bail,
word of
signaled
objection.
a new era
The court
of
delivered its
accountability.
sentence immediately.
The public, no
The
longer
pop
focused
legend
on
has
music,
mostly
turned to
middle-aged
the dark
individuals
underbelly
from
of
various
fame,
states
with the
had been.
trial's
This
next
is not
steps
someone who was
poised to reveal
manipulated.
more.
This is
Reporters
someone.
scrambled to file updates
This event
their
had long
broadcast,
ceased to be a
filling
normal
airwaves
trial.
with the unfolding drama
It had become a
as the
symbol of
courthouse
collective
lights
moral
dimmed on this
awakening.
pivotal afternoon.
The morning session
roots of
passed with
Justin
the
Bieber's
presentation of
sentencing on
documents
June
from copies of
27,
NDAs
2025
signed at the
at
Malibu Villa Bank
05:25
transaction
PM
records
plus
to surveillance
07,
camera logs
traced
from
back to a
various
chilling
party
confession
locations.
recorded in the
Text of
hours
meeting
before
international
Sean Diddy
producers,
Combs'
but instead
mysterious
was
death.
taken into a private
At
room and
8:17
forced to sign a
PM on June
confidentiality
12,
agreement under the
2025,
threat that
Diddy
her
was
career would be over,
removed
from the C2 solitary confinement unit at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan.
Uninformed
He was not
of his
told his
destination
interior.
or the
Public
awaiting
outrage
interrogators,
erupted,
he
just a
scribbled
tool.
faint note on
Justin's
paper,
the one
visible
holding the key.
only under UV
He decides
light.
who gets to keep
If
the
I
clip.
die,
Another
find
had
the one
appeared
who
in
holds
behind-the-scenes
second key.
footage of the
This cryptic
2022
message
Justice
triggered an
World
immediate
Tour.
alert from an agent with
By the
Office
morning of June
National Security
15th, all
Investigations.
three had been located. Shortly
42
after the
minutes
statement,
later, at
a
9
surveillance
PM,
clip from the
Diddy
Beverly
was
Hills
ushered
mansion
into a
Justin's former
high-security
residence was
interrogation room
leaked,
in section
showing
C6,
background details that
typically
perfectly
reserved for
matched the
top-tier
leaked video
federal
if she
suspects.
revealed
A
anything.
triple-layer
Following
recording
Clara's
system
interview,
equipped with
waves
thermal
of
cameras
outrage.
to monitor
BBC
his
News
vitals
aired a
was
special
activated.
report calling it
Without
a
handcuffs
testimony
or
that
legal
alters
counsel,
the trajectory of the
triple-locked
case.
door sealed shut.
CNN splashed
The
its
resulting
front page with a
43-minute
red
recording
headline,
became the
"Not
cornerstone
from the
of
media,
case against
not from
Bieber.
speculation, but
Internal
from those
reports
who have lived in the shadows of fame and been consumed
yet
by
composed.
He pointed directly at Justin. Video servers were split into 2 layers of encryption. One he controlled and the other held by Justin. This system was discussed by the FBI. Right as the trial was underway, everything fell beyond the reach of defense.
No remorse.
Courtroom.
His words dripping with
You
a
will
sense of
hear the truth
self-preservation.
grew exponentially.
He detailed a series
Organizations
of
like
from
Human Rights
2015
Watch
to
and Women in
2022,
Entertainment
spanning
launched
Miami,
stakeholder
Beverly
groups,
Hills,
record labels,
London,
human
and
rights
international
organizations,
yachts beyond
social media
jurisdictional
platforms,
waters.
and even
Key
political
figures
campaign
included music
sponsors
producers,
began
streaming
participating. The
platform
chief of
owners,
staff
and
of the
media
special
influencers,
prosecutor's office.
with Bieber's name
No
surfacing
backups,
at the
no
34-minute
printouts,
mark.
not a single line allowed
Staring
to leak.
into the camera, Diddy
And yet by
declared,
Fortez's
"You
statements,
think I'm the boss?
publicly
I was
the
just a
reaction
tool.
spiraled out of
Justin's
control.
the one holding the key.
Old
He
Justin
decides
footage from
who
behind
keeps
the scenes clips to
silences
casual
people,
vlogs was
the most
edited and
innocent
reaping
face
this
on the
game.
dirtiest machine.
Media outlets, including
Diddy
The Guardian,
explained a
LA
dual
Times,
encryption
Billboard, and
system for video
CNN,
servers,
promptly ran
one he
headlines
managed
stating that
and the
Justin
other
is about to
controlled
turn
by
himself
Bieber,
in, as
hidden
who
within
conducted the
Intune
interrogation
Live
wrote
app,
in his report.
marketed as a fan
He
interaction
didn't show
platform.
remorse.
He alleged
But every
it
word
stored
out of his
hidden
mouth
camera
felt like
footage
he was
used
washing
to
his
coerce
hands in his own
contracts
blood.
and enforce
Diddy
silence.
testified about
the
a
FBI
from that
traced
moment,
suspicious logins
Justin
to
Bieber's
Bieber's
fate
Ontario
changed
estate
forever.
within 36 hours,
To Justin's show,
confirming his
Seasons,
voice in a test
a
video
fragrance company
reciting
that
the
collaborated
encryption
with him on a
keyword,
global
"Play for
campaign
me"
in
or "Play for
2022,
nothing."
publicly
This
announced
evidence
contract
solidified
termination
the
due to the one who
prosecution's
holds
case.
the second key.
2 days later,
That
on
sentence
June
alone
14,
triggered a red alert
2025,
from one of the 3
Diddy
agents
was found
with the
dead
Office of
in his
National
cell,
Security
face down,
Investigations.
with a note reading,
Exactly,
"It's done."
white wings,
No
casting a
external
shadow against
trauma
a
was
black
evident,
background.
but the freshly
That
etched
very
P2
detail helped the
tattoo on
FBI
his
trace the
wrist
room to a
raised
former
alarms.
Beverly Hills mansion
Prosecutors
that Justin had
reopened the
rented into
investigation,
serious loss of
delivering
confidence.
the audio to the
On
U.S.
June 20th,
Attorney's Office.
and 24
confession,
hours after the
recorded on
complete
June
lockdown
12,
order on the Intune
2025,
Live servers,
became the
a
linchpin
copy of the
that
video
shifted
file
focus to
Leverage
Bieber,
47.mp4
unveiling a network of
behind
abuse
the
beneath
entertainment
the
industry.
entertainment industry's glitter.
And when the encrypted video
Part
file
3,
was unlocked
unlocking
and
the evidence.
security
800
personnel
words.
discovered a partially
The
forced
confession,
door and
recorded
signs
on
of an
June
intruder,
12,
although nothing
2025
appeared to be
at
stolen.
9:00
Clara was
p.m.,
immediately
set off a
relocated. The FBI
frantic
soon
effort to
realized
unlock
something
the
someone
evidence
from the
implicating
inside
Justin
had leaked
Bieber,
the information.
intensifying on
An internal
June
sweep was
27,
launched, disguised as a fan
at
platform
5:28
called
p.m.
Intune Live,
07.
publicly
Within
marketed
90
as a live
minutes of the
interaction app for
interrogation's
artists
end,
and fans.
The FBI
House in
transferred
Manhattan
the
and the offices
43-minute
of senior
audio to the Federal
investigators
Digital
became
Decryption
nothing short of
Center in
suffocating.
Quantico,
RBM executives had
activating
held
a
crisis
level 1
management
security
meetings as
protocol.
early as
The
2021,
recording,
when
encrypted
rumors
with
first
dual
surfaced about
biometric
exclusive
locks,
parties
was
for
deemed
female
too sensitive
artists
for
tied
backups
to
or
under
leaks.
posts from his label.
Yet by 4 a.m.
RBMG
on
tens
June
of thousands
13th,
commented,
a 42-second
demanding he be
excerpt
removed from
surfaced on the dark
playlists
web,
or never
posted
release new
anonymously
music
with
again.
The caption, "The
That
second
afternoon,
key is
and
trembling."
members from
In
2021.
the clip, Diddy's
According to
voice
Eliza,
warned,
this clip could
"If I
prove
die,
deliberate
look at
erasure
that
of staff
singer with
drawing
the
from
tattoo
events where
under his
Justin was
neck.
scheduled to
He
appear.
once told me,
Yet the
"I'm
biggest
a
shock
fake
was still
angel.
to come.
Anyone who
On July
believes I'm
1st,
good
an
will
anonymous
regret
Twitter
it."
account named what stood
This
out
leak
was a faded
triggered an
tattoo
internal
on Diddy's
sweep,
left wrist
suspending
that had been
8
freshly
agents as the
etched.
FBI
Justin Bieber
traced
was
the
brought in
source.
via an armored
The
vehicle
excerpt's
from the
release
temporary
spurred
detention
public
facility.
speculation,
For the first
with fans
time in many
analyzing
months,
Bieber's
he
neck
appeared in
tattoo,
public hair
"Son of
cropped
God,"
short,
as a
emerged on the
potential
evening of
code.
day 2. Veteran investigative journalist Eliza
Simultaneously,
Frank
the
of the New
FBI
York
identified
Times
suspicious
revealed on
logins
air
to
at
the
9
Intune
p.m.
Live
that she had
app from
obtained a
Bieber's
never
Ontario
anonymous social
estate,
media account,
corroborating
believed to
Diddy's
be
claim
Clara
of a
suddenly
dual
posted a
encryption
single
system.
line.
Voice
I did
analysis
it because I
confirmed
used to
Bieber's
believe
voice
in him.
in a test video
Every tape,
reciting
every
the keyword
testimony
"play for me"
is peeling
or
back
"play
layers
for
of a
nothing,"
mask
matching the
forged
security
from money
protocol
before
Diddy
released
described.
clip. A recorded
On June 14th,
exchange between two
2025,
backstage
a
crew court
breakthrough
quickly
occurred
intervened.
when a 19-minute,
The presiding judge ordered an
47-second
independent
video file
investigation
labeled
into the
Leverage
legality of the
47
leaked organized
MP4
abuse
was
network.
found on an old hard
Criminal
drive in
psychology
the Florida
experts
evidence
were
room,
also brought
linked
in.
to an unrelated
An internal
homicide
report
case.
from Columbia
The tech
University
team restored
concluded.
it, revealing a
Meanwhile,
pale
in his
blue-lit
holding
room
cell,
with 4
Justin
distressed
remained in
women,
total
and
isolation.
Bieber overseeing
One jail
the scene.
source told reporter
Within the
Floor
first
and
47
personally
seconds,
escorted
he signaled
4
the
under
camera
21
operator
girls
saying,
in confidential
"We won't need
meeting
a
between
retake
senior
this time."
members of Justin's
Audio
management.
forensics confirmed
One
his
male
voice,
voice,
capturing
allegedly a
sounds
top
of labored
executive,
breathing,
said,
dragging
"As long
metal,
as we keep
and
the
a
master
mocking
Martin bowed his head, eyes
On a
shut
table
tight.
lay a black folder
Crediting
marked
the witness,
confidential
it
agreement,
sparked the viral
a spray bottle
hashtag
of
Believe
unknown
Clara
substance,
movement, spreading
and a
across
miniature
9
spy
countries
camera
with multiple
aligning with
high-profile
Diddy's
artists
testimony of
publicly did not
contracts,
request
drugs,
water,
and recordings.
nor did he ask who
The
was
video's
recording.
content
The first thing he said upon sitting down was,
One woman looked up
"I know
with
I
vacant
won't live to
eyes,
see." After the
murmuring,
recording ended,
"I used to
the
sing
full
his
audio
songs.
file
Now
was
I can't
transferred
hear
to the
music
Federal
without
Digital
shaking."
Decryption Center in
Facial
Quantico,
analysis
the same
identified
facility
two
that
as
once
former music
analyzed the
competition
Snowden tapes,
contestants,
and
and another from
imposing
Bieber's
travel
2022
restrictions is
Justice
necessary to
World Tour
preserve the
footage.
integrity of the
The
trial.
fourth, believed
At the
to
next
be
day
Clara
hearing,
R.,
Justin
was
appeared
suspected
visibly
of smuggling the
fatigued, with
copy
hollow
via
eyes
a
wherein he
USB
glanced
stick,
at his
according
lawyer,
to an
then
evidence room
refocused,
employee,
listening
A.
as if weighing every
A
word.
nationwide search ensued,
The first witness
with
this
Clara's
morning was
anonymous
unexpected.
post, "I did
Justin's
it because
former
I used
attorney
to
and
believe in
electronic
him.
monitoring
Now
bracelet.
I believe only
When asked
in
if
the
he intended
truth,"
to plead guilty,
accompanied by a
he
photo
answered
of a
briefly,
scarred cheek,
"I have nothing
fueling
to
the
plead.
hunt.
I
The
did nothing
FBI's
wrong."
efforts to
Yet
suppress
during the
video
entire
failed
incident,
as it spread
Justin's
across
mother,
digital
Patty
black
Mallette,
markets,
posted on
fetching up to
Instagram,
$80,000.
"My son is fighting
Criminal
through
psychology
hell.
experts
But
from
if any of it
Columbia
is true,
University
Taylor was
concluded
vandalized
the
after
man
displaying
in the
a
video
poster of
displays
Justin without
extreme
removing it."
control using
That same day,
psychological
an
tools
anonymous
to
prosecutor
dominate.
revealed her
This is not
investigation into Justin
manipulation.
Bieber.
This is
3 days
command.
later, the
A
complete
chilling
43-minute audio
Are you
recording
sure
was
she
delivered
won't
by the
talk?
FBI to the
Met
Office
with
of the
Bieber's
U.S.
reply,
Attorney.
"After this
Nationwide
clip,
takedown
she
order,
won't even
and sent
breathe
warnings
without
to hundreds
permission."
of major websites.
Ended with a blurred
But like a
room
wildfire,
featuring a white-winged
when proceedings
painting.
resumed, the prosecution played a
This
previously
led to a
unreleased
Beverly Hills
14-minute
mansion
audio
rented by
recording
Bieber
from
in 2021,
a charge carrying the
abandoned
maximum
after 3
possible
months,
sentence.
tying the
And
location
this
to
was
the
only
crime.
the beginning.
By
Part 3.
06:00
Official indictment
PM,
charges
plus
announced
07
and trial
on June
begins.
27,
She
2025,
paused for a long time.
prosecutors
Then,
upgraded charges
she
to
never came
coordinated organizational
A nationwide
abuse
search
involving
for Clara
media
was launched.
manipulation and coercive
Dozens of
contracts.
Hacker Collective,
The
Diddy's
video,
final
combined
testimony
with
extracted
Diddy's
from his
testimony
federal
and
Diddy's
victim
voice
identities
is chillingly
formed
clear.
a damning case.
"If I die,
The evidence,
look at that
once
singer
locked,
with the tattoo
now
under his
threatened
neck.
to expose a
He once
network
told me
built
word
on
for
fame
word
and
still stood
fear,
by him,
with
not even
Bieber
his
at
own
its
family."
core. The courtroom
Within
awaited
his
the
legal
next
team's
move
office,
as the truth
internal tensions
from the
emerged.
shadows of
Two
the
of his 3
entertainment
lead
industry.
attorneys,
Part
on June
4,
14th, just
the
2 days
industry's
after
reckoning.
Diddy's sudden death,
800
Bieber's
words.
story, nor merely
The
a wake-up
unveiling
call
of
for the
evidence
entertainment
against
industry.
Justin Bieber on
This
June
was an
27th,
indictment of an entire power
2025
structure
at
long accustomed to
05:30
silence.
PM plus
The
07
Voice jury's reaction
triggered a
was
seismic
unfavorable.
shift within the
Several members
entertainment
shook their
industry,
heads as Leverage
exposing a
47
web of
dined
complicity
MP4.
and
42 minutes
silence.
later, a
As the
high-security
19-minute,
interrogation room was
47-second
unlocked
video
in Section
and Diddy's
C6,
testimony
normal to
gained
point that the
traction,
Department of
major
Justice had to hold a
stakeholders,
national
record
press
labels,
conference
production
on July
houses, and
3rd.
charities
A source
faced
revealed
intense scrutiny.
there are over 40
The FBI's
witnesses listed in
investigation
the case file.
expanded to RBM
Among them,
Records,
faded
Bieber's
to a
label,
new
for 7
undisclosed
years,
location.
uncovering
This
internal
development
emails
was not
from
officially
2021
announced, but a
discussing
CNN
crisis
reporter
management
reportedly
over rumors
captured
of
the convoy
exclusive parties
escort on
tied to new
tape as it left the
contracts.
area,
A former
calling for a
executive
trial based
admitted,
on
"We
evidence,
considered
not
hush money,
icons."
but some refused.
But most of the audience didn't
Public
seem to
outrage
listen.
swelled
But within the
as
first
Clara
47
Montreux,
seconds,
the
he
British
signaled the
singer
camera
who
operator to
collaborated with
pause,
Bieber in
adjust the angle,
2020,
then
went public.
stated,
No
face
longer under
pale,
witness
and
protection,
with none of the
she
familiar
appeared on
spark of a
national
pop star
television,
initially resigning in
recounting her
2021 for
coercion
reasons
at a Malibu
unknown.
villa under
Mendez
the
took
guise
the
of a
stand in an
producer
old
meeting.
suit, looking
I was
weary.
forced
Financial
to sign a
cybercrime team
confidentiality
were called in.
agreement, threatened
And
with
during that
career
process,
ruin, she
click of
stated,
the recording
her
devices.
calm demeanor belying
The judge
trauma.
has set the start of the formal
Organizations
trial
like Human
for
Rights
August
Watch
5th.
launched
Until
campaigns
Hag
demanding
J.
a full
Alvarez
industry probe,
testifies
while
and hash
women's
justice for the
advocacy groups
victims.
rallied outside
TikTok,
studios,
Instagram,
their
and Twitter
signs reading,
were flooded
"End
with
the
my
silence."
client.
The
As
scandal
a citizen,
escalated with
I
a
cannot
leaked
stay
FBI
silent
file,
when justice
purportedly
demands the
from an
truth.
anonymous source, detailing
Mendez's testimony
handwritten
prompted a
notes from
wave
second
of reaction.
witness.
We are considering
An accidental
upgrading the
PDF
charges to
error
cross-border
named Ariana
organized
Grande
criminal
as a
activity.
potential
With at least
organizer of
3
similar
6 hours of the
parties.
interrogation, they identified 4 suspicious
representatives
logins to the
denied
Intune Live
involvement,
platform.
citing
The security
no contact
keyword
with
found
Bieber
in
since
Diddy's memo.
2018, but
At 9:10 p.m.,
paparazzi
after
video
confirming
of
the
her
entire
exiting the
testimony had
Malibu
been
villa
recorded,
contradicted
Diddy
this.
stood up and said,
The federal court ordered an
he's the one who
independent
silences
review
people.
of the leak.
He's
though
the most
copies had
innocent-looking
already
face on
proliferated
the dirtiest
online,
machine.
fueling a crisis
He went on to
likened the
explain how the
Epstein
original
scandal.
financial
A
sabotage
DOJ
or
prosecutor
bribery.
conceded at a July 3 press
On the morning
conference,
of June
leaked
18th,
data has
Justin
influenced
Bieber
proceedings,
officially
but
appeared
core
before the
evidence
attempted suicide
stands.
in 2021. 2021.
Industry fallout was
However,
swift.
this tactic
Universal Music
enraged the
Group
public
held an
even
emergency
more.
meeting with
Instead
a
of
board
being
member
comprised
proposing
of
to
3
freeze
top attorneys
Bieber-related
in financial
projects
crime and
impacting
human
hundreds
rights,
of jobs.
was fully present.
An international airline
His lead
canceled a
counsel,
promotional criminal deal,
H were
and a
removed from
California
the case
retailer faced
after refusing to
vandalism
rely
for
on
displaying his
controversial
posters.
evidence provided by the
Bieber's
victims.
wife Haley Baldwin
The remaining
left their
lawyer
villa
collapses.
while close friends unfollowed
And when
him
the name
online,
Justin Bieber was
signaling
typed
a
into the
collapse
first
of
line of
support.
the draft
His
indictment,
mother, Patty
the
Millett,
entire
posted
federal
a
building
cryptic
fell into an
Instagram
eerie
message,
silence.
I pray my son
I
can
was
tell
stored
the
on
whole
his
truth,
hard drive
even
like
if it
a
breaks my
trophy.
heart.
No
before
sentence
deleting
reduction,
it, leaving
no
public
bail,
opinion divided.
no protection of reputation.
Investigative journalist
Jeffrey
Eliza
Epstein's
Frank of the
final
New York
words.
Times
A level
revealed
1
a
security
2021
protocol was
backstage
activated.
clip on July
The only
2,
copy of the
showing
recording
crew
Justin
members
Bieber.
discussing evidence
This is a
erasure
legal
at
maneuver
law-violating
unprecedented in the
locations.
history of the
Submitted
American
to the
entertainment
FBI,
industry.
it hinted
A
at
federal
broader
trial that could
cover-up.
lead to life
The trial's
imprisonment
momentum
for a singer,
pressured
Clara
the
R.,
DOJ to
was
consider
believed to be the
upgrading
one who
charges
smuggled
to
the only
cross-border
copy of the
organized
video by
crime,
inserting a
naming
USB
multiple
stick into the
defendants,
old evidence
with
hard
Bieber
drive.
at the center.
According to a
source
former
noted,
evidence room
"This is
employee,
no
PDF
longer
formatting
one man's
error,
fault. It's a
Ariana
historic
Grande, years
reckoning."
of silence was being
By
unveiled layer by
06:00
layer,
PM
and
plus
Justin, with his
07
dulled
on June
expression
27,
and weary gait,
2025,
was no longer the
industry's
celebrated
facade
central figure.
cracked.
Final line
Record
on a sheet of
labels
paper in
scrubbed
pencil
Bieber's
so
music from
faint
playlists.
it required
Brands
UV light to
terminated
read.
contracts, and
If I die,
universities
find
reconsidered
them.
his donations.
The courtroom had been
The public,
specially
once
configured for
enamored,
this case,
now
with 4
demanded
security cameras
accountability.
streaming live
Their
images
voices
to media
amplified
rooms
by
outside.
global media.
On the jury
The
bench,
reckoning
12 jurors
sparked by
stopped.
Diddy's confession
CNN
promised
issued an
to
urgent
expose a
bulletin,
power
the
structure
first
built
trial
on
of the
silence,
decade, where
with
each day
Bieber's
reveals a
trial as
deeper
the
secret
first
than the one
domino
before.
in a cascade
Meanwhile,
of truths.
independent
The
media
trial of
began
Justin
meticulously
Bieber commenced on
cross-referenced
June
to Justin,
27th,
one of whom was
2025
Clara,
at
but the compensation
05:29
attempt
PM
failed because
plus
she refused the
07
payment.
in a heavily
Justin's
fortified
legal
US
team
federal
immediately
court in
struck back.
Manhattan,
A
marking
firm
a
on the
historic
second day of Justin
confrontation
Bieber's
of
trial,
power, sex,
an
and
unusual
justice
quiet hung
within
over
the
the
entertainment
proceedings.
industry.
There were no more scrums of pop who had previously
Outside
worked on the
streets
Harvey
were
Weinstein
sealed
case.
from 5
They
a.m.
all
with
reached the same
federal security
conclusion.
forces
If what's in the
erecting
recording is
barricades
true,
and screening
unexpected
media
event
cameras.
occurred.
Hundreds
Diane
of
Bieber.
reporters, activists,
Justin's
and
mother
onlookers
posted a short
gathered.
black background
Their presence
message on
a
it. Was
testament
posted
to the
from an
case's
anonymous
global
account with only
significance.
one caption.
Bieber arrived
The
in
second
an armored
key is
vehicle,
trembling.
his hair cropped
In the clip,
short,
I'm a
face
fake
pale,
angel.
and eyes
Anyone who
devoid
believes
of their
I'm good
former sparkle,
will regret
flanked
it.
by his sole attorney,
Reddit and
Christopher
X,
H.
formerly Twitter,
The courtroom
exploded
reconfigured
instantly.
with 4 security
2021,
cameras
showing
streaming to
Ariana
media
exiting
rooms,
the very
hosted
Malibu villa
12
that Clara had
carefully vetted
described,
jurors
went viral,
selected
making
after
her
a
denials
4-day
nearly
process
impossible to
from
believe.
A pool of over
The federal
500
line that his own
candidates.
family is beginning
Judge
to doubt
Lydia
him.
Whitman,
Dossier.
presiding over a prior financial
Netizens
crime
speculated
trial in
whether it
2016,
contained documents
opened
for
the
Jay
session at
Alvarez's
9:32
recross,
a.m.
or perhaps
with a
evidence
solemn
defense
address.
counsel had
You will
withheld
hear the
intentionally
truth
until
from
that
those
moment.
who lived in the shadows
So
of
many
fame
people needed
and
a
were
moment to
consumed
breathe
by
after
it.
that shock.
Pointing at
DOJ
Bieber,
officially
she
requested
added,
a travel
"The
ban on
defendant,
Justin
the
Bieber
most
and
powerful
ordered the
and
freezing of
protected,
all movable
must face
assets
justice
connected to his
first."
affiliated companies.
Christopher H.
In
countered
fact,
with a call
evidence
for
that
an
Justin and
evidence-based
some members
trial,
of his former
but the
management
audience's
team had
focus
known about
remained
abuse
fixed on the
allegations
unfolding
as
drama.
early as
The
2018,
morning session presented
and had
a
even
barrage
quietly
of
paid
documents,
off at least
NDAs
3
from the
victims
Malibu Villa
using
bank
legally
transaction
untracy
records
next
and
month.
surveillance
But if
logs
there's
from
one
party
name big enough,
locations,
you'll keep me
each
alive a few more
authenticated by
days.
the FBI
Agent
with
John
traceable
Mendez. The trial
barcodes
session
and
concluded
sealed
at 5:20
translations.
p.m. But the echoes
prosecution's
reverberated on
meticulous
television
approach
well
laid
into
a
the night.
foundation of
8/5,
irrefutable
just
evidence.
1 week before the
afternoon
trial, the
climax
situation
arrived
had
at
turned into an
1:47
uncontrollable
PM
whirlpool.
when Jay Alvarez,
One of the 4
a former
women in the
member of
video
Bieber's
suddenly looked up with
2019
empty
European
eyes and
tour
said,
crew
"I
took
used
the
to sing
stand.
his songs." Moved.
Wearing a gray
Justin's
button-down
legal
shirt
team
and
requested a
baseball
private
cap,
press
he
conference
recounted
later
a
that day.
December
No
4th
background
incident
music,
in an Austrian
no
villa
editing,
where
no
Bieber
cuts.
escorted 4 underage
But it radiated
girls
an
into a room with
overwhelming
security
now, I
cameras,
believe, only
ordering
in the
staff
truth.
to leave.
Attached
Jay's
was a
testimony,
dimly lit
supported by
photo
a
of half
grainy
a
video
face
clip
with a
from
small
tour
scar
records,
visible on the left
detailed
cheek,
threats from a
matching
senior
footage
manager
from the
to
proven.
ensure his silence.
The DOJ
I
stated
left
they
the
possess
tour
at
out of
least
guilt
7
and fear,
eyewitness
but the
testimonies from
Leverage
individuals who
47
attended
tape
Justin's
pushed me to
private
speak,
gatherings,
he said.
along with 2
The courtroom
2021,
fell silent.
and was reported to have
Reporters
terminated
barred
the
from
lease
recording their
after
faces,
just 3
tense.
months.
Bieber bowed
Unexpected
his head,
witness
eyes
first
shut,
blow to Justin's defensive line. Outside the courtroom, hundreds stood, ended with the room fading into blur, though a painting on the wall was still recognizable, and instead signed an order requiring Justin to appear within 72 hours schedule. The judge agreed to review the request the following morning. As reporters exited the courtroom, their phones buzzed non-leverage 47.mp4. The U.S. Department of Justice formally convened convened a federal grand jury to consider charges against Judge, but shockingly, they refused to cooperate. One even released a statement through her personal attorney. I don't want this brought back up. They promised me it would never. If you want to erase one pay in silence, if you want to escape, you sign. When voice analysts conducted a final line, I've said enough. The rest is yours to handle. He left the room without looking back. But 2 days later, he was found dead. I will not forgive. Her words divided public opinion. Some saw them as a mother standing by her child, while others interpreted them as a simple method. Mendez admitted he had been coerced into silence by contractual obligations at Anna Files leaks, posted over 40 pages of documents purportedly from sealed FBI files. The UK and Brazil. Netflix's official account suddenly deleted all content related. In 32 a.m., federal prosecutor Declan Meyer stood up and opened with a statement that froze the packed filings. They argued, the current evidence shows the defendant has the means and motive to flee beyond federal jurisdiction on one of his secure hard drives. This partition stored sensitive clips, not backed up to the cloud. The witness claimed he had been paid $50,000 that leaked information would not derail legal progress, a sign that public pressure had reached unprecedented levels. Meanwhile, sources from the home confinement justice and a surprising testimony. On July 10th, the United States federal court in Manhattan entered the first day of a trial, internal management records. The entire courtroom fell silent. Reporters were barred from recording, but every face in the press gallery was rigid with tension.
After a 30-minute
Justice
recess
and members
to
of the
absorb
public
the
had
shock,
already gathered.
The prosecution
Surroundings told why he was being moved, nor who was waiting on the other side. The only thing Diddy knew was that he had just written one. From that moment on, the full 43-minute recording became the key to unraveling one of the dirtiest cases ever hidden beneath the glittering surface of the American entertainment control. In the latter part of the video, a strange exchange was captured. A male voice clearly that very night. 8 agents were temporarily suspended. The entire in-tune live server was frozen, and NSA technicians, along with the federal that couldn't be contained, the more they tried to suppress it, the more it spread. Partly because the name Justin Bieber was simply too massive. Partly because of the public's censors that he looks exhausted but not broken, more like someone waiting for something. The speculation that followed was stark. In New York, hundreds of reporters camped out overnight outside the FBI headquarters and federal courthouse. An in-series of parties held from 2015 to 2022, spanning Miami, Beverly Hills, London, was enough to trigger the biggest crisis in the entertainment industry since the Epstein scandal. The crisis escalated to not merely an investigation, but a global battle of media leaks and public opinion warfare, led by representatives from the Department of Justice, the regional FBI director, and 3 legal advisors. In 20 interview on The Tonight Show, where he said everything is controlled by my trusted team, resurfaced with the hashtag Predator Network.
The party's full of drug and sex. When I was